nerds? So we watched The Mandalorian, episode episode four, and it was titled The Siege. This is my twin brother, Marlon. Marlon, say hi.
Hello, everyone.
So we're going to get into this episode, but real quick, I just want to ask you, Marlon, what did you think about this episode?
It was good. It was better than last week's, in my opinion. I really enjoyed it.
Right on. I can't figure out which one I like more, this episode or last week's episode. It was just so good. It was like watching classic Star Wars just with new characters.
Yeah, that's what I liked about it. It was enough of a throwback to where it brings back a lot of childhood memories, and enough of the new stuff where you get really excited about it as well.
Right on. Okay, so let's start off. Ahsoka Tano was not in this episode, which I pretty much figured.
I wrote that down. Matt was right. She will not be in the episode.
Yeah, I was bummed that she wasn't in the episode, but at the same time, I was like, I get it. You know, you need to have. I mean, how is Gina Carano and Carl Weathers going to be in this season unless you go back to that planet? So I have to say, starting off when they were doing the stuff inside the spaceship where Baby Yoda was in that little confined space, what did you think about that?
It was really cute as far as Baby Yoda goes, but at the same time, these shows, when they do all these little like time wasters, it's just like it doesn't, in my opinion, bring the story any further. Like it's not good for the story. Like I was kind of like, oh, Baby Yoda's cute with the whole thing, but it was kind of boring at the same time.
See, I thought Baby Yoda in this episode was so freaking cute. I couldn't handle it. But I have to tell you right now, I wrote down the Mando is a bad dad. What kind of neglectful crap is this? You're sending a child into a small confined space to mess with electrical wires. What? I mean,
he's not a dad at all, though. He's not a dad at all.
He's a father figure.
And this is what I have a problem with the show is they want you to think that he wants to be a dad, but then he doesn't even take his helmet off in front of this kid. So clearly he doesn't have. I think the whole helmet thing really annoys me, especially since in the cartoon, the like animated series of the Clone Wars, the Night's Watch take off their helmets. So it's kind of like, well, why isn't he getting to take off his helmet every now and again in front of this wannabe child figure?
Right on. So they head to Navarro, and now I couldn't tell if those little walrus-like alien guys, if they were ransacking the old Mandalorian hideout. Was that the old Mandalorian hideout?
Yeah, I don't think they were. Yeah, that was the old Mandalorian forge, but I don't think that they were ransacking it. I think that was kind of like their base of operations for illegal stuff they were doing. And when she comes in and takes them out, she's kind of like shutting it down, kind of thing.
Gotcha. That's a good point, because I was all like, are they ransacking this old hideout and everything? But that makes perfect sense, because so Cara Dune, like you mentioned, she comes in and she kicks butt. She is. Although I would have liked to see her take a hit. One thing I don't like is when you get these characters and they beat the crap out of everybody. I'm fine with that, but they don't really take a hit. And I'm all like, listen, you may be strong, but you're not Superman. So, I mean, in a real situation, you would at least take one hit, like a good one.
Yeah, it's all plot armor. Like, they can't hurt him.
And I did like that prairie dog creature in that cage, although you could totally tell it was a puppet.
Mm-hmm.
I like that and everything. So then they take Mando and the kid through the town or whatnot. By the way, if I skip over anything you want to talk about, just say the word.
Yeah, we're good.
They take him and they go to that school, which I thought was quite nice that they had turned that old, I'm assuming the bounty hunter bar into a school. I like that a lot, and I like seeing the protocol droid teaching the children. I did, however, think the kid that wouldn't share his macaroons was not only a bad actor, but he was a mean kid. Why wouldn't you share your macaroons with that adorable Baby Yoda?
I mean, humans are selfish creatures anyway. So, I mean, that's why we have to teach our kids to share it in the first place, because they want to keep it for themselves. But I think that they could have came up with something more creative than a blue colored macaroon. The
Oh,
whole
right
time I'm
on,
watching,
yeah.
I'm like, you have a huge ass budget and you can't make like a space age looking snack.
Right. Like a space cookie of some sort. I agree. I agree. It had to be blue macaroons in a package that looks 20th century Earth.
Yeah,
Like I'm all like,
it looked like a special edition Girl Scout cookie. That's what I thought
yeah,
it was.
that's funny. Yeah, no, they could have done a little bit better with that. That's true. I agree with you there. I didn't. I'm like the whole time when Baby Yoda started using his force powers on the cookie. I'm all like on the cookies. I was like, oh, now you're gonna use your force powers, which we didn't even really get to see. We just got him to
Yeah,
control it, and then he's got the cookies.
it was an interesting spot to put force powers in when Baby Yoda hasn't used them thus far for
Yeah,
more important things.
right on.
I will say for the line when the kid looks at Baby Yoda and just goes, "No," I thought that was cute.
Oh, see, I thought it was just bad acting on that kid's part altogether.
Oh, you thought it was better.
So then moving on, Cara Dune, and sorry, I have something in my eye, and I'm trying to get it out while we talk. But so they
Get it
go
out.
and they're talking about this Imperial base that's on the planet. Now, first off, I liked the look of the Imperial base. I thought it was very, very cool. I don't know how you felt about the design of it.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
personally
real quick,
like.
can we say I do like that they brought back that blue guy
Yes,
that they caught that he caught in episode 1, season 1. I can't remember his name or anything.
Mithril
Yeah,
is played
he
by
was
Horatio Sands.
okay. I don't need all that, but yeah, he was cool. Like I really
Maybe
enjoyed.
maybe the viewer watching wants to know who played.
It's Mythrol by Horatio Sands.
No, it's not by Horatio Sands, but okay.
Playing Horatio Sands. But yeah, I like that they brought him back for this episode because it's a nice little throwback.
It is. It was a nice little throwback. I enjoyed it. I mean, like, but if you watch the trailer, you knew he was coming back. Which also fun little fact. Every shot that we've seen in the trailer has been in the show. So we won't.
Okay.
So everything from this point is new. We haven't seen anything, not even a little glimpse of it.
Oh, dang.
So one thing before we get into towards the end of this is I just want to say I wrote down, why did they destroy the base? Why didn't they just use that as like a space kind of port or some kind of landing dock of some sort for spaceships
Yeah.
coming in? I'm like, why be wasteful? I mean, I get that you want the Empire out of there, but waste not, want not.
I kind of thought something similar, like, oh, you could use that for a port, especially since right at the beginning the guy says that one freighter thing would earn a lot of money on the black market. They don't have to sell the weapons, but I'm sure there's stuff in there that they could sell off to make it more productive for the planet itself, especially if they're trying to make this thriving community.
Right on. Going back to Mithril and everything, I do like his look, and I would like to see more of his species. I like the whole aquatic look and everything. Yeah, that's all I wrote down about that.
Do you think he would come from a planet similar to the Moth Calamari?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do.
So it's all watery.
Yeah, I do. I think that it's not 100% water like Mon Calamari is not 100% water, but mostly. But yes, I do think that he does. Let's see. I did also find that blue guy kind of annoying in this episode. At some points at times I was like, can you just please leave? You're annoying. But at the same time, overall I did enjoy him in this episode.
Yeah.
So they get into the base. Now, all the shooting in the base. I don't like also that they've got this ongoing running joke of all the stormtroopers can't shoot/hit anything. I get it. It's an ongoing thing. But at the same time, I just go, you've got like millions of stormtroopers. Like, you got to have one of them hit something sooner or later. Like,
yeah. They don't make them very formidable at all. And they always... they talk about how, like in A New Hope, that you have to go to the academy to be a stormtrooper and stuff. And it's like, well, at an academy, you're definitely going to take some kind of firearms training. So it's not like these guys, they're like, oh, you can't hit the broadside of a bantha. You pass. You
right?
know what I mean?
I mean, I take it back. The one did hit Mando in the back after he came out of that little hole, which we'll talk about in just a second. But I mean, other than that, like they don't hit a shoulder, they don't hit a leg, nothing. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
So they get into the base and everything. They overload that reactor, and then they go into that room with the clone. Now, I did like seeing the hologram of Dr. Pershing. I did like seeing that, and what do you think those clones were? Go.
So I think that, and this might be out there on the internet, I haven't really read anything about it, but I have a feeling that Moff Gideon is force sensitive, and he's cloning himself and trying to use Baby Yoda's blood to intensify his force sensitivity in his clones. That's just a theory I have. Maybe somebody else came up with it. But hey, real quick, I wanted to say that Dr. Fresh on the hologram, did you notice his outfit is Candanoian? So from the clone makers in the prequels.
I did not.
Yeah, it's very. I even think he has the little arm badge on it.
Interesting. I'll have to check that out after we get off of here.
I mean, if it's not, I could be wrong, but it looked super familiar in that hologram. I was like, oh, that's kind of I got to go back and watch season 1 and see if it how good it looks.
Right on.
I will say one thing that I laughed about is after the clone message and stuff, when they're going through the computer, the stormtroopers bust in and the blue guy just kind of like flicks his laser and shoots one. I actually kind of like giggled or laughed a little bit when that happened, because it was like, that's funny.
That is funny.
That they got off that shot. But anyway.
Right on. I personally thought it was, as soon as I saw it, I immediately thought the Emperor, but then I did read online, and lots of people thought maybe it was Snoke, the starting of Snoke.
Ooh, that's a good theory.
Yes. So then they get caught, so they're running through this base and everything, and they're shooting beep, 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 and everything. Then they steal that speeder and they ramp off of the base, and then you've got the speeder bikes chasing after them. I loved this chase sequence. I thought it was very, very good. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I loved it when they were going down the hill, the speeder bikes and everything. I loved when they were shooting at them, and when Cara Dune pushed one into the mountain and crushed it and exploded and everything. What did you think about this?
I loved the whole, as soon as they get caught at the base, to the point where the end of the episode where they get back to the town or whatever. I loved it. It was very reminiscent of just a lot of different Star Wars stuff. When the speeder bikes are chasing them, I was like, ooh, this is so like Endor like, when the speeders are chasing them down on the speeder bikes. It's really cool. And then I love the TIE fighters going at them. It was, in the canyon, it was kind of very like Death Star-esque, if you will. So I really enjoyed it. I think that's why this is my favorite episode. It was just kind of like it reminded me a lot of Star Wars the way I remember, because I'm not a fan of the newest 3 films. So it was really nice to watch this episode. In fact, I think I've watched it quite a few times since I got it.
Right on. I've watched it twice. So like you said, the TIE fighters show up, they launch off the base, and then they start attacking this. I don't remember what the big speeder thing that they're in is called.
It's some kind of troop carrier.
Right on. So they're about to get destroyed, and then the Razor Crest shows up.
Yes.
Now, I have to say, first off, I don't know how I felt about the Razor Crest being fixed so fast. That's one problem I have with the show, is like ships are just like magically all better in like 5 seconds, and you're all like, it's like episode 2 of season 1 when those Jawas tear his ship apart, and then they do the gosh, what's it called? A montage, and they've got it rebuilt in 5 seconds and everything. You're like, it would take a little bit longer, but tomato or whatever.
Yeah, they could do a better thing, with the timing. They could make it seem like it's been a few days since they, like they could have said, oh, we've been studying these plans for this base for a few days. It's, shut up and do it kind of moment.
Right on.
But you're right. The timing is kind of like, wow, they did fix the Razor Crest pretty fast.
Yes, and then I did like the air battle that they have. That's another problem I have with the show, but not like a real big problem, is they don't have enough spaceship battles, in my opinion. I mean, you do get like spaceships, like with the X-Wing chasing through those clouds in episode 2, but that wasn't really a spaceship battle. That was just more like a chase sequence, which I'm fine with also, but I would like to see more space battles in the future.
Yeah, me too. I will say during the little flight battle, I've said this in plenty of episodes, the Razor Crest is like another character to me. So the more that they have the Razor Crest in here, the better. So I liked that you got to see Mando maneuvering and using it to the best of his abilities. But one of the most entertaining parts is Baby Yoda during this whole sequence.
Right, I wrote it down. Go ahead.
Right, eating his little macaroons / he's putting his hands up.
No, I wrote that down. I wrote Baby Yoda hands.
Yeah, so that was really cute. But I say, like, that probably was my favorite part, just because, like I said, I love the Razor Crest as a ship, and I'm like you. I want to see more space battles with the Razor Crest in it, just because I like the ship so much, and I like that it shows like Mando knows his ship, kind of like like a throwback to Han and Chewie knowing the Millennium Falcon really well.
Right on. So speaking of the X-Wings, so we get the pilot, and he's kind of questioning them on what went down. And then, which I like seeing this X-Wing pilot more and more. I hope to see him again before the season ends. And I want to know a little bit more about the Republic. But one thing that I did like was him talking to Cara Dune and trying to get her to come back to the Republic, which I did not know that she was an Alderaanian.
No, I think that was a big, as far as I know, I didn't know she was from Alderaan, so it's kind of nice little, throwback.
Right, yeah, because it's very interesting, like, to see, to hear about, like refugees and everything from Alderaan, because it was destroyed and everything. So then we find out that there was an Imperial spy, that little alien-looking dude that was working on the Razor Crest, and he put a homing beacon on the Razor Crest. And then Moff Gideon, you show him, and he's doing something with these, like, soldiers. I thought those were maybe, like, super troopers, and maybe they were doing some kind of serum with Baby Yoda's blood to kind of, like, amp those troopers up. What did you think about that last scene?
I'm not sure what the armor's for. Like, I just kept thinking maybe it's like when he makes his clone, they get they get their own super armor, because even like his outfit that he's wearing is a very Darth Vader-esque. And so I don't know, maybe he's making these force sensitive clones, and that's the armor they're gonna wear. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do.
Right on.
And can I say Cara Dune, what's her name? The actress.
Gina Carano.
Yeah, Gia Carano. Does her boobs get bigger and every time you see her?
I have no idea.
The whole time I'm like, dang, her boobs got way bigger.
I would like to see her hair longer, though. I don't like this, like, side, like, down to here Skrillex looking thing. Like, it just comes down to here. I was just like, can't she just grow her hair out and wear, like, in a ponytail or something? I mean, like, I'm not trying to tell the show creators what to do, but
no, we're telling them what to do. Stop going.
I like her whole look except for that, her hair. I'm like, she's like, in real life, she's got like this long, black, beautiful hair, and like, I just feel like they're not.
So are they cutting it that way, or are they just like wigging it up?
I honestly don't know. Like, I kind of like the braids on the one side, but I just don't like how it comes down to like, and everything. Like, I'm just like I don't understand why people wear like that, because you're constantly like this, like moving it out of the way. I'm like, why would you put yourself through that?
Oh, hey, real quick, I was going to say about the base when it came to a port for it. at the end, they have like some screenshots of it, and it actually has these like big turret guns on the side, and I'm like, that would be perfect for them to use against people, coming to the planet, like the Empire came back and wanted the base back or whatever. But once again, they blew it up already, so it doesn't really matter. But
Right on. All right, now we need to talk about a couple of things real quick before we end this. The first one is, did you hear about the background, the guy in the background?
I did see a picture of it.
Yes, apparently, Carl Weathers, he played Grief Karga in this episode. He directed this episode. It was his first directing, which I have to give it up to him. Somebody being, somebody that was in sports, moving over to acting and now directing. I was quite pleased with his episode. But one thing is, you look at this picture, and I'm throwing up an image now, but you have this guy in the background, some crew member, and I just go, people like to talk about how nowadays, you can take any kind of TV show like Game of Thrones, because they're comparing this to the Game of Thrones coffee cup thing. You can pause each and every single scene, and you can brighten it so you can find all the mistakes and everything. But I did think this was quite funny, being able to see a crew member.
No kidding. That was his first directorial debut, and there was already this guy standing in the background. Man, that's got to be the worst luck ever.
Right on. Yeah, no.
Like, he's probably yelling at the dude like, God damn it, Gary.
Right. Right on. That's funny. So, for what was your favorite part about this episode?
So, obviously, my favorite part's the ship battle with the Razor Crest. I don't know why I'm so fascinated with the way they designed this ship.
I don't know either. I think it's
know what it reminds me of a lot of? That it reminds me of the Firefly in Firefly, like the ship. It just, like, the design, other than the neck part coming out the front, it just reminds me a lot of that ship. And I loved that show. So, maybe subconsciously that's what, because I thought of that. I'm like, man, that looks so much like Firefly. But yeah, that was my favorite scene. The TIE fighters with him shooting them down and stuff.
Yeah, no, that was a good scene. My favorite was with the speeder bikes before the TIE fighters show up, when they ramp off there and they chase them, and then once the TIE fighters show up, it was cool, but I liked it better with the speeder bikes.
And I'd like to say with the speeder bike, they don't have to make, like, I'm like you, they don't have to make these stormtroopers so clumsy. Like, right at the beginning when they ramp off, two of them crash right away, and I'm like, you could give us so much better action with the blowing up scene if you just have, like, maybe they come down the hill and right away. The guy within the turret shoots the rocks and they fall on them, and that's how they blow up. They don't have to make them so clumsy all the time.
Yeah, my wife complained about that too. She's all like, don't they know how to fly those things? And I was like, apparently not. And she's like, why do they fly so close together? And I'm like, I don't know. All right, so what are you looking forward to in the next episode?
I'm looking forward to, I really hope we get to see, and now I'm drawing a blank.
Ahsoka Tano.
Ahsoka Tano. Even if she's not, I've come to the realization that she's not going to be, I feel like she's not going to be in this season very much. Like, it's going to be very minute. I have this feeling. But I hope to see Ahsoka Tano. And she kind of like relates to Baby Yoda because she knew Yoda. And I'm hoping, so Sabine Wren is rumored to be in this. I don't know if they've cast people, and there's a rumor about a certain cast member being Sabine, but I really hope I would love to see Sabine in it. I'd love to see Bo-Katan again, would be super cool. But I really just I'm hoping to see Ahsoka Tano in the next episode.
I believe we will see Ahsoka Tano. I'm not sure if she'll show up for the whole season, but it will be fun to see her. I hope she uses those lightsabers in hardcore. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
I have a question. Has Disney done any, like, next time on The Mandalorian?
No.
Oh, dang.
No,
I would love to see that.
Yeah, me too. All right, do you have anything else, Marlon, that you want to say about this episode of The Mandalorian?
It was really good. I give it an 8 out of 10.
Right on. I give it a 10 out of 10. It was so good. I enjoyed it. We'll talk about it in a season 2 review when we do that video. But yeah, this episode was very, very good.
Yep, it was very good. And I hope they keep this kind of writing and action coming. So
I hear you. All right, go. So tell us, what was your favorite part about this episode? Did you like this episode? Where does it rank on your list so far of best episodes for this season? Was there a part you didn't like? What did you think about that background guy and everything getting caught in the camera and all that kind of stuff? And do you like it when there's little mistakes like that? Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. You know, I won't mind. Marlon, you won't mind?
I won't mind.
All right. And then if you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. We will see you here next Saturday. Sorry, it's Sunday today, but we will see you Saturday on our Mandalorian review. You guys have a good week. Bye.
Bye.